Hey Cos Peeps, Cos Investor Network here. Please forgive the background noise as there's a little bit of paving going on behind me, but I'm out here at a property where we're about to list it for a retail client, but it may very well be a property, for instance, that an investor might be renovating. Nice single family house, going to get cleaned up and made ready for market. And then right next door, dun dun dun, you got this thing, clearly abandoned by the state of the outside of the property. And I say clearly abandoned because we can also see on the front door some stickers. A couple of reasons for stickers on the front door. It could be the local municipality or HOA telling you your yard's in rough shape or the outside of your house needs to be cleaned up. But in this case, that actually is a sticker from the bank that says that they've declared this home vacant and they have winterized it, meaning they've shut off the water to prevent any further damage. Front windows taped up, just kind of badly overgrown, roof is a mess. Just clearly an abandoned property. So what do you do when you have a house that you're getting ready to put on the market and sell, and you've got something like this next door to you? A couple of options. The first thing you should do is try to track down this owner. Obviously, this is a home that can and should be bought by an investor, and we're actually in the process of doing that now. But in the process of starting that work to find out who owns it, we've discovered this property is coming up for auction very soon. So may still be a pre-foreclosure deal to be had, maybe a short sale where we can help this owner maybe avoid foreclosure, or maybe we go to the auction and see what happens to this house at an auction. But let's say none of that goes down in a way that we can control. Most likely that's what's going to happen. Usually at an auction that's coming up very soon, there's not very much you can do. And once the home goes through auction, most often it actually gets bought by the bank. Maybe it gets bought by another investor. But regardless of what happens, if we don't control it, it may not be cleaned up by the time we get to be ready for market. So here at the Cos Investor Network, we absolutely do not promote trespassing, which is exactly what it would be if you were to enter on this property for any reason if you didn't own it. But I can tell you, if some enterprising person were to engage a landscaper to, say, clean up this front yard, cut down all the weeds and grass and trim up some of the rattier trees and pull out some of the nastier vines, and maybe even, say, take the plastic off the window and replace it with plywood that were painted the same color as the house or the same color as the trim, or even painted black, the windows might look a little better. At least the broken and missing window might look a little better. There are a lot of things you can do without a lot of money, a few $100 to $1,000 spent to clean the property up that might really help your curb appeal. Anyone who's done this for a while or spoken to any realtor can tell you curb appeal is critical to selling a property. And you want to try to do everything you can to make them clean. So, not saying that this is a thing that I would ever do, but I wouldn't be surprised if someone came along and cleaned this property up while waiting to find out who actually did own it and who eventually came to own it, what their plans for it might be, because until it's been cleaned up, it's affecting my property value. And by the way, this is the kind of thing that you need to know if you're looking at a deal also. If this is next door to the deal that you're looking at buying, you need to know how this is going to impact you, and is this something where you can find the owner? And by the way, if you find the owner, don't expect that they're going to just voluntarily clean anything up just because you're selling next door. Be prepared to pay for it yourself and say, hey, I'll clean this up. I'll paint your house. We've cleaned up the fronts of neighbors' houses fairly significantly in the past, at least with paint and landscape, because it's worth it. Or if you can't do that and you can't make any other arrangement, then be prepared to take a deduction on your sale price, and how you determine that will be up to you. But just know that this will impact your ability to sell your neighboring property. So I would be prepared to try to find another solution rather than take that hit on value, because usually the cleanup is cheaper than the hit that you'll take in value. But that's a reason to check it out before you buy. Certainly something you can be working on while you're renovating your house, and an issue that I would address if I were you on your rehab deals. So take that for what it's worth. Hopefully take it to the bank and take yourself back here to cosinvestornetwork.com for this and other handy flippy files. Thanks much. Have a great day. We'll see you next time.